Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Waldo, and as we near completion of this project truck, it is finally time to install some modern GM-style towing mirrors. Right after the montage, we're going to start this bad boy up, drive him back to the shop so we can work in relative comfort and away from all these flies. This is Billy Bob, my 95 GMC C3500 HD. I paid $300 for this truck, essentially saving it from being scrapped. This project has turned into a full-on resto mod, complete with a paint job, a custom gauge pod, custom headliner, and leather bucket seats. The engine is a 24-valve 5.9 Cummins out of a Dodge Ram. The transmission is a 5-speed Eaton Fuller out of a medium-duty Freightliner. The goal is to end up with a heavy-duty truck for towing and hauling future projects. There's been a lot of welding, a lot of cutting, and, shall we say, a lot of persuading. Oh yeah, here we go. So these are the mirrors right here. Nice chrome bits on the top and the bottom. As for the lights here, it's a parking light and a turn signal. And then on the other side, we have a turn signal here and a light that faces rearward, which I'm going to wire up to a switch. And of course it has a flat portion of the mirror and a convex portion for a wider view. And the mirrors also extend out, just in case I'm towing something wide or I have a wide load in the back and I need to see out a bit farther. We've got wires here to wire it up. We've got the studs here to hold it in place. So let's grab a wrench and bolt it up. Comes with this little bracket to hold on the upper bolts. Oh, hello. Yeah, I'd say it looks pretty decent. I think the chrome of the mirrors goes pretty well with the chrome bumper and the stainless steel of the wheels. So now I just have to wire these up so we can see what the lights look like. And also I have to be able to control the power mirrors. This truck is a work truck that did not come with power mirrors, so I'm gonna have to wire those up somehow. I did buy a factory switch and harness, so that should help out. All right, so for wiring, so I bought this switch off of Rock Auto along with the harness for it. This has 8 wires which supply the signals to the power mirrors. Luckily the harness is labeled at the bottom A through H, so I know what each wire does. Having factory wiring diagrams is critical for this type of project. Here you can see the power mirror switch and figure out what each wire does. H supplies power, A supplies chassis ground, B, C, D, E, and F go to the mirrors, and G is for the switch illumination. As for the wires coming from the mirror, it has 3 connectors. It's got this orange one, which is for the parking lights. It's got this connector right here, this white connector, which has ground and then power for the reverse lights and the turn signals. And then there's this connector right here, which is for the motor. Unfortunately, this connector is not labeled, so I don't know which wires do what. So I'm going to have to figure that out by a little bit of trial and error. I have literally never done this before, but I'm going to cut this connector off. And then we're going to crimp on some of these connectors. These are 22 to 20 gauge female pins. Yeah, so they make really expensive crimping tools for these, and this is not one of those. So I'm kind of left with trying to figure out exactly how to do this. Well, that feels like a solid crimp. So now that 3 more times for this connector, and then a bunch more times for all the other connectors. So I'm going to extend some of these wires coming from the switch, going to the left-hand mirror. And I'm going to extend it with some arbitrarily colored wire. So this is basically the door harness that I've made up. We have the mirror switch here. It's got quite a long lead here because I don't know exactly where this is going to be mounted, so I want to give myself some flexibility. And then over here on the other end, we have, this is going to go to the door mirror on the left side, and then these are going to go into the vehicle to go to the right-hand mirror, and also for power and ground and stuff. Oh, and this is the kit that I bought. This is basically an assortment of MetroPack 280 connectors. It has single pin connectors all the way up to 5-pin connectors, and it comes with plenty of pins for various gauge wires. And this is useful so that you can add your own connectors as needed, but also if you have an existing connector, and this truck does have some of these connectors, and you want to add a wire to it, you can just use up one of these pins to add the wire that you need. So pretty neat. So as for wiring this into the vehicle, this right here is under the dash. This is connector C298, and I have an orange wire and a brown wire right next to each other, and the orange wire is plus 12 volts fused. I believe that's from the courtesy fuse. So this is the exact circuit that would be used to power the mirrors. And then the brown wire here is for the parking lights, and that is fuse number 9. While this is not the exact wire that would be used to illuminate the switch, it will actually work just fine. And just a friendly reminder, always solder your connections. Don't use those T-tap connectors. I know they're convenient, but they do not last very long. If you want your wiring to last for years, this is the way you have to do it. And the turn signal I got from this bundle right here, these 2 blue wires are for the turn signals. As for the ground, I just threw a ring terminal on this screw right here. All right, I think I have all of the wires run, and I started putting it into some split loom down here. And then I got the rear-facing white lights wired up to this little switch on the dash. Not only that, but the headache rack, which is going to go right here when I build the flatbed, is going to have some rear-facing white lights. And I also went ahead and wired up a little connector here, which is going to supply power to that over the same switch. Check it out. Mirror works up, down, left, right. Fantastic. If I put the hazards on, yep. And then the reverse light, look at that. Nice. And now from the front, we got the hazards and parking lights. We're getting really close to 10,000 subscribers. As of right now, I think we have about 100 left to go. If you haven't yet submitted a question for the Ask Me Anything, now is your chance to do so. Just leave a question down below in the comments. I'm going to end the video here because I am ridiculously excited to start working on the flatbed build. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to follow along with the rest of the build.